Hi, I'm Girvan and I'm from Uddingston. I never ever really felt unwell. It was a medical that I get sent for at my work, and that's where it was picked up that there was too much protein in my urine. I phoned the doctors and they told me to go up for blood tests, and the doctor had said to me, "You feeling okay, Mr. Girvan?" And I says, "Yes, fine." And he says, "Well, your kidneys seem to be impaired, they're only functioning at 30%. So it was a real bit of a shock to me at the time, because I felt so healthy and fit. And then 2 years later, I'm on dialysis. Well, then I had to start attending the hospital. They were able to tell me, "You'll probably start dialysis in the August 2020, and it was right to the month. So it was, but then you start to realise, like, what am I going to do here? I'm not be able to work, and well, your world just comes crashing down on top of you, and you think the worst. But when I started on dialysis, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be the end of the world, but it wasn't. Life still goes on, and it's down to you to make the most of what the situation is, and that's what I done. I mean, don't get me wrong, at the start, I would say it did get me down, but now I just got on with things. You just got to make the most of what you have, make the most of a bad situation. Well, when I started on, it was PD that I done, which was really, really good for me. Although you can't do the same kind of things physically as what you used to, but it really suited me that. And I stayed on that for 3 years until, it kind of stopped working and I had to go into the chemo, which I've been on that for 6 weeks now, but that's just another step in the journey to get my transplant and hopefully then returning to a normal life. I have to attend the hospital 3 times a week, 4 hours at a time. You've got to make the most of it, and you can't let it get you down. You just keep going, until that day you get the phone call. Fingers crossed everything goes alright and you can get back to it. I mean, when I went to see the transplant surgeon, they said, it would be a donor no older than 50 that you would receive from, and it's just getting a match, tissue match and blood match. And so it's like winning the lottery, I suppose. You're just waiting on a phone call. Fingers crossed, not be too long now. If you can help anybody out that's in need to give them an extra few years of life, then go for it. It's an amazing gift to give anyone. I would say to them to let members of their family know their intentions if anything had to unfortunately happen to them, to make their intentions known to their family members. Let them be aware that they intend to donate anything. So many people living with these conditions.